Hello everyone and welcome back to the video. It's me, just another sim guy here with a fantastic iRacing announcement. Super exciting, can't wait to share this with you. But before I do that, make sure you like and sub to the video, help us on our journey to get to 1,000 subs. When we get to 1,000, I'll be giving away a copy of AC Evo to one lucky subscriber. And if you already own the game, I'll be giving you something else like Steam vouchers or something else to the same value so you can get something else for winning the comp. Anyway, without further ado, I just want to give you my verdict on my 9 weeks of iRacing in the trial account that I set up. I want to let you know what I've thought so far, what I'm doing next, and then I'm going to share with you my exciting announcement. So, in terms of what we've done so far, I'm going to share my license levels with you now. So it's a bit numbery, this video, a little bit numbery in terms of the data, but I think this is important to demonstrate the fun I've had so far and what I've managed to fit into the first 9 weeks. So on ovals, you can see we've progressed to D license with an overall I rating of 1.423 and a safety rating of 2.45. Not bad. Got there really quickly. On road, put quite a lot of time into this, got to B license. Flat 1500 I rating, so not bad, and safety rating of 3.99, so very, very safe. Formula Racing got up to C, and it was impossible to go any further because there wasn't any content at base level. Got my I rating up to a 1681 and stayed nice and safe with a 3.65. Didn't really do anything in Dirt Oval apart from one trial race, so I'm going to sort of not worry too much about that. And then on Dirt Road, my I rating was much higher. I got into Class D. My I rating was higher, but it's gone down to 1296 as a finishing point and a safety rating of 2.87. So potentially I was due a sort of promotion in Formula had I have sort of done some races in the class that I couldn't do because I didn't buy any content. However, this brings me on really nicely to my exciting announcement. So I've absolutely loved iRacing in the last 9 weeks, and despite the fact of having 3 more weeks left of the very cheap special offer summer sale trial that I took advantage of, I've actually spent the last couple of weeks trying to revive an old account. So I was iRacing many, many years ago, revisited it again probably a couple of years ago briefly, and then sort of didn't really touch it. So I decided to work out how to revive this old email address. I actually made contact with iRacing support, who was super helpful, so big shout out to them. Didn't actually need them in the end because I managed to revive my access to the emails that I needed, and went, jumped through a couple of hoops as you do with all of these things, but managed to revive my old account, which makes me super happy because I've got so much content, and actually way more content than I thought. I must have spent some money, and what I'm going to do, put down in the comments if you're interested in seeing this, but what I'm actually going to do is backtrack to 2016 or 2015 when I joined iRacing for the first time and did my longest stint on it, and I am going to calculate sort of in terms of what I've spent on cars, what I've spent on tracks, what I've spent in the course of those years whilst I was a member only, and then I'm going to try and work out what I've spent on average perhaps per month or even per race if I can do it that far. So I'm only going to count, I'm not going to divide it by 10 years if I've been a member for 10 years. I'm just going to divide it by the amount of months that I had an active membership. So if it turns out that my membership was a total of 4 years of 48 months across that period, I'm going to divide what I spent on the content, work out what it cost me, and how much fun did I have for that much money per month, and did I enjoy it? What did I get out of it? And I think that will give us a nice honest picture of the true cost of iRacing for someone who's been on the service for quite a long time with quite a lot of content. Is it good value? I think that's going to be a really, really useful exercise. Now that video is going to take me a while. It's a lot of data to look at. It's a lot of sort of sums to do. So yeah, show me your support. Get down in the comments if that's something that's going to interest you. Let me know. If I get enough support for it, I'll do it. I might just do it anyway for myself on an ad hoc basis. But if you want to see it and that would interest you and help you sort of build up a picture of what you're likely to spend, then yeah, I think it could be a useful exercise. But anyway, this is the exciting stuff. So these are some of the cars that I actually bought over time that I'm really looking forward to getting back into over the next couple of weeks. I've got the Aston Martin DBR9 GT car, a BMW M4, the Ferrari 296 GT3. I've got the Ford GT2 and 3, a Ford Mustang GT3, the Formula Renault, can't remember if I bought that or is that base content, can't remember. Looking forward to getting back into the Lotus, the old Lotus, the Lotus 49 and the Lotus 79. I did the Lotus 49 a couple of times. I remember with my H pattern, absolutely loved it. I got the Renault Clio. I got the Rough RT12R, which I don't know if there's any series in for that at the minute. I bought the Skippy, the old Skip Barber, and I do remember loving that. And the BMW Z4 GT3, which I think has been legacied now, and the Volkswagen Jetta, which I'm pretty sure was base content. Anyway, track-wise, there are some absolute bangers in here. Let me know in the comments section what you think of these tracks. Have you bought them? Do you rate them? How you think they are on iRacing? I'm sure many of them have been remastered and re-scanned and had visual upgrades since I last bought them and did them, and I'm really hoping that there's still active series on some of these. So Phillip Island was really good. Road America, one of my favorites. Road Atlanta, another one of my favorites. Sebring, absolutely love it. Snetterton in the UK, that's a good one. Sonomo and Suzuka, love both of those tracks. One of my personal favorites as well, Mugello or Mugello, however you say it. Maybe let me know in the comment section if I'm butchering some of these names, but yeah, that is in all sims one of my favorite tracks of all time. Really love the flow of that track. Imola, obviously standard. Interlagos, standard, love that one. Monza is a good one. Brands Hatch is another one. Canadian Motorsports Park, really used to like that one, and I think if I remember rightly, after the start turn there's a sort of banked right, and then you sort of, as it straightens out, you go down right into a dip as it bears left, and it's a really hard crest to master. Is that the right track? Let me know. Spa, obviously, that's a staple of all good sims and lovely in iRacing. I bought Le Mans. I bought Gilles Villeneuve, the Circuit of the Americas, Zandvoort, Zolder, Daytona, Donington Park, one of my favourite tracks in the UK. I've been to Donington Park, love it. Long Beach was another one. Mid-Ohio, MotoG, Bathurst, really good. Got the Nürburgring, and another one of my favourites, Watkins Glen. Love that track, and that's got some good variations. So, as you can see, that's a lot of content that I'm going to now have access to. That opens up the door for a lot more championships, a lot more racing, a lot more GT racing, some old stuff, but also some of these tracks, they're going to be classics. They're going to provide some absolutely amazing footage. So I can't wait to get involved. The hardest thing for me is going to be deciding what series or 2 or 3 to focus on and what I want to do with my time. So just touching back onto the licenses as well. So as you can probably gather, I spent quite a lot of time on the service, and it's interesting to see how my licenses stack up compared to where I got my new account from scratch in that first 9 weeks. So let's run through them. So as you can see on the screen, we've got ovals. So that was 1423. I actually didn't spend as long in ovals as I thought I did back along, and only got although my license went up to B over time, my iRating was down by down to 1142. So there's a little bit of work there to do in the ovals if I want to get that up to where it could be. In terms of the road, interesting how my finishing iRating on my original account was almost exactly the same as what I got it to in the 9 weeks. So maybe that's where it averages out for me, and that's my skill level. But I got that one to 1523. Pretty sure I had it up to about the 1700s at one point, so I am going to look at the graph for that. But yeah, that's not too bad. The formulas, oh, and as Class A, so road to Class A. Formulas also got to Class A and was maintaining that. My formula rating in my 9-week trial was 1681, as we said, and my formula rating on my original account got up to 1779. So definitely the same sort of pattern, higher than road and nice and safe. Now the oval dirt stuff I must have done a bit more on back in the day. Don't really remember it too much, but that's up to 1317. And then the road dirt license, I got that up to a Class B and an iRating of 1504. So not too shabby, not a bad foundation. And the trouble is there's not enough hours in the day to sort of focus on which one to concentrate on. However, this does give me a really good baseline to work with. I want to get back into the tin tops, I want to get back into formula, I want to push the dirt, and if there's time I also want to push the ovals in both the dirt and the road. And now that I've got access to a lot more cars and a lot more content, it's going to be easier on a weekly basis and really open up some doors of what's available at the time I log in. So I think it's fantastic. Now, my biggest takeaways from my 9-week trial and starting from afresh were really, the purpose of it was to see if I wanted to get back on the service, and then within a matter of a few weeks, I was pretty much hooked. And I think it showed me that yes, let's investigate how I can revive an old account, because it was definitely worthwhile and something that I was truly enjoying. And now, what I found for me, the reason why I'm going to go all in on iRacing, and that doesn't mean I'm going to neglect any other sims, but I am going to try and work on iRacing a little bit more consistently. Now, the reason is because time and availability. So it doesn't matter if you've got a free half hour or a free hour one evening and it's late or it's early or it's the middle of the afternoon. There's populated lobbies for most things you can race, and I think it's the only sim that can say that. And I think that's fantastic. That, to me, it's not perfect. The tyre model's still got its difficulties at the limit. The netcode can still be a bit of a pain. I think the people, the quality of the racing and the racecraft has been pleasantly surprising at the rookie level. Now I'm back up to sort of Bs and As, and I'm going to be looking to sort of move into GT4 and GT3 and perhaps do some other stuff. Maybe the racecraft will suffer, and some of these higher lobbies aren't as clean as I'm going to hope. But I think to get populated races, nothing can really beat it. The online competition has been really, really good, and that's what keeps me hooked. Like I say, I know it's not perfect, but for me, it ticks all the boxes. It's got a good range of cars. I've now got access to a lot more tracks, which I've invested in over a long period of time. So there's several $100s worth of content that I just reeled off. And obviously, no one, you're not expecting people to buy that all straight away, but over the course of many years, you can easily build this up. And I just think for me, it does exactly what I want. It gives me that competitive sort of, it fills that competitive void where it feels like you're working for something. And even the AI racing that I've tried has been really, really good. So if there is something you want to try, or I don't know, if you've had a few beers and you want to sort of race but you don't want to risk crashing and ruining your rating, you can just jump into an AR race and just sort of enjoy your evening that way. So for me, the variations, the formula cars, the dirt, I've been really enjoying the trophy trucks, for example, so I'm going to hopefully carry on a bit with that. But yeah, I mean, like I say, it's going to be this is going to open up some fantastic doors for me. So I'm really, really excited, and I hope you're going to join me, and I hope I'm going to see a lot more of you out on the track. I'm looking forward to using this as a tool to grow Discord, to make sure that our community grows, host more community nights, provide some sort of prizes, and we're going to get some business sponsorship. So hopefully we'll be able to provide some prizes to race winners, etc. Just little things. And I'm really looking forward to this sort of springboarding what Just Another Sim Guy is all about and building our community. So it's really, really exciting. And the biggest problem and the biggest question for me is going to be, what do I focus on when week 1 of season 4 rolls around? That's going to be a really hard decision. Now, another thing I want to touch on is I'd love to get started on the endurance side of it. So I may start doing some 1 hour, 2 hour races and build my way up to some of the sort of 6 hour events and possibly do driver share and stuff like that. A couple of people in the community I've spoken to about doing that. So that could be an exciting move as well. So perhaps that's going to be a good way to go. Anyway, I realise I've reeled off quite a lot of information over the last 14-15 minutes. So I hope you stuck with me and appreciate you enjoying this enthusiasm with me. If you've got any questions about any of the content, if you want to see that video on what I've spent over the years, then make sure you leave a comment about that. Don't forget to sub on the way out. Don't forget to like, share, tell your friends, share it in your own communities. And if there's anything that we can ever help with, I'm going to do a full deep dive into the new UI. I haven't even had a chance to get back on my rig and switch on iRacing since the update. So whilst I've got some nice replay stuff playing in the background from the last couple of weeks, I've yet to try out the UI. And obviously I'm in VR, so it could be a bit of a task to get that working. I've not really read much about it. I've been pretty busy. But if I get any hints and tips, or if there's any way that I can help anyone else, then I'll certainly be doing that. So if you're having any troubles with the new UI, particularly in VR, over the next couple of weeks, do let me know. And if I sort of openly say that I've got mine working. Perhaps I've done something that can help you. But like I say, get involved with the Discord. See if you can get involved with the community nights, and try and make sure you're subbed and you're liking and you're sharing our content, and then we'll get you into that competition. When we hit 1,000 subscribers, you'll be in with a chance of winning a copy of AC Evo or something to the equivalent value. Anyway, thank you for your time. I have been just another sim guy, and I'll see you guys on the track. Take care. Peace.